Share a little bit about what you've learned. And one thing I'm interested in, Intel has this famous culture of, you call it constructive
confrontation,
which I assume it would be fair to say that when Andy Grove and Bob Noyce and others instituted this several decades ago, it was a very male-dominated culture. Is, for number one, true, and number two, do you need to adapt that in a 21st century corporation?
It doesn't work the way it did with Andy Grove. I grew up with Andy Grove, and slamming your fist on the table and telling you, you're just not thinking right.
That was the polite way he said it, right?
Yes, he used many different words. I know we're on TV, so I was making sure it was clean enough for TV. In today's world, what we've transitioned that to, and it's similar to it sounds like going on at Kaiser, is that we want people to speak their mind. We've got to get the ideas out. If you're going to really go and invent the future and then build it, you've got to get all the ideas on the table, and you've got to get everybody to speak their thoughts and their minds. So we talk about that, but how do we do that in a way that allows people to feel respected and listened to? And so the three rules that were just mentioned are very similar, I think, to the way we think about constructive confrontation now. Speak your mind, listen, but then we call it disagree and commit. Yeah. You can disagree, but once we decide, you got to commit.
Yeah. But is there I don't know if you articulate this or if it's happened subtly or perhaps it hasn't happened. Do you need to disagree a little bit more politely in 2017 than perhaps in 1994? Yeah. Because this is when Andy Grove was at his pounding the table best, right?
So the good thing is we're still engineers. So I think it depends on what the topic is. If it's around the culture and if it's around what's going on in the company, I think, yes, I don't know if you have to, it's whether you have to be more polite, but you absolutely have to listen better. I don't think people listened as well. But when it's a technical issue around something, what's the future of AI? Is it, this architecture or that architecture? The engineers, I want them to still come in it with data and real, intensity so that we get to the right answer and we get to the deep technical discussions.